what David is saying is true. It creates a different behavior.
Yeah.
Just like the hormone creates a different behavior about sexual attraction to a male, because think about it. If you don't have that high libido, uh, then you look for a man that is not so masculine. What is something that is close to a man that doesn't have masculine features? So yes, it changes the behavior. Hormones, we need to understand hormones change behaviors. They are almost like a production of how we feel. They're so important and relevant in our life. We need it, but we need it to be balanced. When you off balance it, it creates a new you, a different version of you, even if you are against it. And it's not about your mental conviction, it's about your biological chemistry inside that is dictating you to change. And it's something almost like, again, because what happened, like David is saying, it's like you're lying to your hypothalamus all the time. And then if you lie to someone so many times, you're going to believe it, right? It's like, oh, we don't need to produce any more of this. Who cares? So it's interesting because hormones definitely change behaviors. It does. It has a big effect on that. I wanted to ask Autumn. Like I said, me, Kevin, and David would never know what this looks like, and I'm just curious. Autumn,
Yeah.
what does it feel to have a period? Like, is it uncomfortable? And again, like I'm curious because, you know, I, we're talking about women's health, and probably is a bad but beautiful experience. I don't know because I could never experience that.
Mhm. Well, I will say every woman's period is different. So like mine is very different from my best friend's period because she never experienced cramps at all. She says like it just happens upon her. Like she'll wake up and she just has it. And for me, it's the opposite case. Um, I get very severe, like it's severe cramping. Um, that will last like I'll know it's coming like 2 days before, I start experiencing cramps, and then when it arrives, um, like, sometimes I can't get out of bed, it's very painful, which is not normal, I've learned, but yeah, so you typically, like, your, bleeding days will differ among women. I get it for 8 days. I know women who get it for 3, maybe 4. Um, so mine's a little out of whack, but even researching lately, like it's not just the days that you're bleeding, it's all of your phases. So really trying to like lean into that has been so helpful for just like understanding my own body. Um, like when you're feeling low and how your body is really preparing. And it's so beautiful. Like your body is working um, to prepare to bring life into the world. And I think it's such a gift. It is so beautiful to know, like, this is what my body can do and this is what it's preparing for. And it's actually a superpower. Like, it's nothing, like, it doesn't make us little, like, there's nothing weird about it. It's honestly really cool. And I was listening to a podcast the other day where one of the main hosts said her daughter um, had her period. And so she invited all of her female friends over, the mom, and they had tea and cookies. And all of the women just spoke about their own experiences with their menstruation cycle and gave her daughter like advice and tips. And I just thought it was so beautiful, like how the women came together and kind of like passed down this knowledge. I feel like that's something that we should do more of and just like bring more awareness to what it really means to have a period and what it means to go and become a woman, right? Because when you get your period, they say you've become a woman. Um, and it really is, it's such a beautiful thing to know, like, there's so much detail in every phase you're going through, every cycle you're going through. And it is helpful sometimes to just curl up with a heating pad, have a cup of tea and, sleep the cramps away. But no, it makes me proud to be a woman, and it's really beautiful.
That's awesome. I'm pretty sure, Kevin, you see her in those moments, and we probably experienced that same thing, and we see somebody cramp up, and we're like, we don't even know sometimes what to do. Like you want a painkiller, you know.
Pretty much, like,
We see the pain, and I don't know if you guys want to talk about your particular experience seeing your loved one, with cramps and going through the cycle.
oh yeah, like I don't sometimes I don't really know what to do. I'm like, you want a blanket, you want some water, you want a hug? I'll give you a hug. Like those little things. It's like I think it's like the little things like that help out. Like just I guess presence being there. But then it's like different stuff. I don't really know where to assist. I try, the best effort, the best thing to do, what I realize is just to give an effort because then that it gets recognized. And when it's like an emotional whirlpool too, it gets recognized to a 10 times the max. Or it could be flipped the other way where it's like you're not doing enough. But it's never like that. But
Maybe she gets better when you eat bananas in front of her. That
yeah,
would right?
right.
David, te quería preguntar algo.
Eres
En
un
el
buen
punto,
tipo.
en
Créeme,
el,
eres un buen tipo.
he's the man. Eh, David, desde un punto de vista químico, ¿qué tú consideras que es, qué es lo que ocurre cuando, desde un punto químico, cuando se produce el estrógeno?
Wow. Well, estrogen is produced, it is the female hormone, and that is has to generate all the changes in the female cord that needs to do it. As you say, we already saw it. The hypothalamus has to generate an adequate amount to maintain each of the parts. Let's say that reproduction starts from a good cycle and that there is no imbalance. I think our body knows how much we need and what we need when it cannot occur. Imbalances and diseases come, or in this case, complications such as those that Gold has, which is perhaps there is a part of her body that she cannot have enough, or that there is something anatomically that prevents her from having a more friendly cycle. But that's what he has Kevin for, who for the next cycle is going to eat a lot of bananas to help them. No, but you know what? What's good about that now? There is greater support, and that is why I believe that that part of also sharing that experience, not only of having your partner, but of understanding it in the cycle where there are beautiful situations and others not so much, that a moment comes where his mood also changes, and be there even if it is for so that they say something to you or get angry in common. But it is good because it also serves as a liberation for them, because they are in a roulette of emotions and it is not their fault that they tell you something that often makes you angry. I think that part of education is that having that accompaniment too, because we don't know what's going on and we don't feel what they feel. We know biologically what's happening or what's going to happen, but accompaniment is the important thing. And what those hormones are going to do is make them have all that carousel of emotions that women have. So we don't have as many as they do. I do consider that you have to give them greater value in that good point, and a lot, especially in the hormonal part. Those hormonal imbalances, the part of the pills that causes you another imbalance so that things move in a different direction and that they don't go crazy, is a great merit of them.